armed with our motto, let learning be a joy.
Students, today we are going to study lesson number 3 of standard 9th exogenetic process part 1. Many landforms are formed due to the internal movements. In the previous chapter we have studied about the internal movements. Many processes occurring on the earth's surface also lead to the formation or degradation of the landforms continuously. In this lesson, we will be studying the exogenetic, that is external process, and the landforms formed by them. Now, external processes occur because of the forces working on the Earth's surface. These forces are solar energy, gravitational force, and kinetic energy associated with the moving objects on the Earth's surface. Students, do you know that the landforms formed on the Earth's surface as a result of the internal movements are primary and secondary landforms, and they lead to the formation of continents, mountains, plateaus, plains, etc. Now, because of the external process like weathering, erosion, transportation and deposition, the primary and secondary landform give way to the tertiary landforms. For example, valleys, sand dunes, deltas, U-shaped valley, etc. In this chapter, we are going to study with the different types of weathering. Now, what is weathering? The breaking or weakening of rocks is a natural phenomena. It is called weathering. Now, weathering can be of three types: mechanical weathering, which we can call it also physical weathering, chemical weathering, and biological weathering. In arid climates, mechanical weathering is dominant, while in humid climate, chemical weathering is more effective. Biological weathering occurs because of living organisms. Now first we will study with the mechanical weathering. Before that we will perform this activity. Take an onion, cut it in the middle, observe the cut parts, try to remove each skin layer of these parts. Now we will notice that just as we can remove each and every outer layer of this onion, similarly in nature rock also undergoes such a process, and that we are going to look out for in exfoliation. In this given figure, we can see how the outer layer of the rocks is peeled off. Now, what is exfoliation? The exposed part of the rock heats more while the inner part is comparatively cooler. As a result, the outer layer of the rocks fall apart from the main rock, and this process is called as exfoliation of the rock. So you can see the figure where we see the rock is exfoliated. We will see what are the reasons for mechanical weathering. There are various reasons for physical weathering. First, temperature, frost, crystal growth, release of pressure, and water. There are various reasons for mechanical weathering, and the first one, that is temperature. In the given figure, first we can see rock surface heats up and expands. Second figure, rock surface cools and contrasts. Third, joints form in the outer part of the rock. And the fourth one, broken rocks. Now here, this process, how does it takes place? The minerals in the rock expand because of heat and contrast when temperature decreases. Due to such continuous contracting and expanding, tension develops in the rock particles. Now each minerals, they react differently to the temperature. Some minerals, they expand more while others do not expand as much. Consequently, the tension formed in the rock also increases and decreases. So as a result, cracks develop in the rocks and they break. Such type of weathering is common in the hot deserts. Now the second reason for mechanical weathering is frost. In the given figure, we can see water enters in the crack present in the rock and the crack starts widening up. We can see below that eventually the rock is broken free by progressive fracturing. Now, how frost is responsible for mechanical weathering. In this figure, we can see In areas where the temperature drops below 0 degree, the water accumulated in the cracks and crevices in the rock freezes. Its volume increases and this leads to tension in the rocks and they shatter. We all know that the volume of water increases when it freezes. So in the given figure, we can see water entering in the crack present in the rock. Second figure, we can see the top freezes first and then slowly and gradually the crack starts to widen and it creates a pressure or a stress on the rock mass and then it gets separated. So that is the second reason for mechanical weathering, that is frost. And we can find this in those regions where the temperature drops below 0 degree. This is one more example of mechanical weathering. We can see in both the figures that how cracks are created in the rock and the rock is separated. The next reason for mechanical weathering is crystal growth. Now we can see in this figure how salt in crystal growth, it involves salt crystals growing from salty water. Now what is crystal growth? Especially in rocky coast, the waves they hit the sea cliff. Now the water is alkaline. Some water droplets they hit the cracks in the rocks. In these alkaline water, the soluble materials in the rock get dissolved and this lead to the formation of small holes in the rock. This is the effect of solution. Now alkaline water gets stored in these holes. Because of it, the water turns into water vapor and only crystals of alkaline materials remain in the rock. Now these crystals, they occupy more space. This causes tension in the rock mass. Holes are formed in the rock and it looks like a honeycomb. So we can see in the figure, in the second figure, we can see that how the rock appears like honeycomb. The next reason for mechanical weathering is release of pressure. Now, it is not that tension is created in the rocks only because of temperature or freezing of water or crystallization. The outer layer of the rock exerts pressure on the inner or lower layer. When these pressures ceases to exist, the lower or the inner layer get freed from the pressure. And this is also one type of weathering which we call it as release of pressure. The next reason for mechanical weathering is water. In the given figure, we can see it is written granular disintegration. Now, what is granular disintegration? In some areas which experience more rainfall, soaking of rock takes place. Now, when water penetrates in such rocks, the particles get loosened and separate from the main rock. For example, sandstone and conglomerate. So, here in the next figure, we can see like how the rock is converted into the fine sediments, and that is what is called as granular weathering. The rock appears like grains. Block disintegration. With repeated expansion and contraction, the rock break up along joints. What is block disintegration? Sometimes both temperature and water are responsible for weathering. Difference in temperature causes contraction and expansion, widening the joints or the cracks in the rocks. Water accumulates in such wide joints and big blocks of rock separate from each other. This is called block disintegration. In this lesson, we have studied with mechanical weathering and the reasons for mechanical weathering. We will continue with biological weathering and chemical weathering for the next time. Thank you.